Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Tuesday on Quad Radio. It is March 6, 2012. We are just a little more than 3 weeks, or actually a little less than 3 weeks from the kickoff to the ATV Motocross National Championship Series, and a little less than a week from the GNCC kickoff to ATV racing this 2012 season. And I tell you what, as far as Florida is concerned right now, it is most definitely a hot field as far as ATV competitors are concerned, because I don't care who you are or what, and it seems like Florida is the place to be right now, as we're going to welcome some of the up-and-comers here today, and that includes one of our up-and-coming pros, Mr. Joel Hetrick, along with Kyle Fix, Cody Suggs, and Shawn Taylor, those three up-and-coming Pro Am class racers. And we say good afternoon to all you folks, guys. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing? Good. We're good. We're just sitting at PAX right now, waiting to ride with a bunch of dirt bikers here. Cody Gibson's going to be showing up and just ready to have a good day riding.
Wow, man. And like I said, Joel, we're just a couple of weeks away from kicking off the 2012 season for you guys. And like I said, Florida seems to be a hotbed right now. And it sounds like Pack Tracks is where you guys are at today then, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely hot today, and that's where we'll be riding most of the day today. We're staying at Hard Rock, and it was just today, so we decided to come out here for a better day of riding.
There you go. A little change never hurt anybody, that's for sure. I know you spent a lot of the winter in Texas, training down there at the Manshack compound, if I'm not mistaken, and you switched over to Florida just a few weeks ago, huh?
Yeah, about 2 or 3 weeks ago I came to Florida, and ever since I've been here, it's just real hot and humid, and I'm getting used to the heat for sure.
That's great. How's things been going for you, Joel, as far as your off-season training? I know you had a huge change this season as far as your program is concerned. I mean, you're going from your own program with your family and everything into the Motorworks Can-Am team with John Natale. I saw some pictures there. Actually, you guys were doing a team shoot, it looked.
Yeah, we had a photo shoot, me and John. It was a really fun day of just hanging out and doing some laps with me and John out there. And I don't know, I'm real excited for the race season to start. I feel like I got a lot of confidence, and I'm really used to the bike, and shock testing is coming up soon, and I think everything's going to be dialed in for the first round.
I realize that you're kind of new as a pro rider and everything, Joel, with heading into your sophomore season, but change is something that's not new to you since making that step up, because you made the change about a third of the way into the season last year, so coming into this season, it should be a little better for you, huh?
Yeah, now that I made the change during the off season, and I'm training on the bike I'm actually going to be racing on. The change during the season was hectic. I've never rode a Honda, and I just got on it. I felt real comfortable. Luckily, I liked it that much and got some good finishes.
That's for sure. And do you feel as comfortable on the Can-Am that you felt on the Honda after a few weeks on it?
Oh, yeah. Right when I got on the bike, I just started adapting to it the first couple laps, and it's been great ever since. No problems at all. And just little stuff like cutting the seat so I can sit down in the bike. But other than that, I love it.
That's great, man. And as far as your mechanic, have you had a chance to work with your mechanic this year?
Yep, he just got down here about 2 or 3 days ago, and he's a great mechanic. I mean, we get along really well, and I think it should be a good year for me and Darren and the whole team, Motorworks Can-Am team.
That's great. And what's it like working with John Natale?
Oh, it's great. I grew up as him being my idol, so now I'm racing with him and on the same team, and it's really fun. So.
That's great, man, and I'm sure you're expecting a lot out of the season. And speaking of guys that's expecting a lot out of the season, man, tell me a little bit about these guys that you're hanging with. I know that a little more than a year ago, you guys were competitors. Now you're kind of their idol, I guess. They're kind of looking up to you, and you guys are all hanging out and training together, man. How's that all working out for you guys?
Oh, it's great. I mean, having all these guys down here, it's great riding with all of them and just helping them out, and even them helping me out. We're always doing something, and just riding with people is where it's going to help you get better. If you're not out there riding with anyone and you're just riding, and I don't know, it's a lot of fun with these guys.
All right, Joel, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. You've been riding with these guys for a few days now. Who seems to have it right now? Kyle Fix, Shawn Taylor, or Cody Suggs in that group that you're riding with?
I mean, yeah, you definitely put me on the spot right there. They're all really fast. How about that? They 1, 2, 3 long.
Okay, depends on where you're at and who happens to be feeling it that day. Then how's that answer for you?
Yeah, that's a better answer.
All right. Well, let's kick it off, man. Let's talk with these guys as well. And anytime you guys want to interject, feel more than free to do so. But I want to kick off with Cody Suggs. Cody, talk a little bit about yourself, man. Tell us a little bit about you and how things have been going and how you are transitioning now into this Pro Am class.
Oh, it's been going good. I've been down here since January training with John Matali and Kyle Fix, and now Joel Hetrick and Shawn Taylor. So it's been going pretty good.
So, Cody, how was your season last year, man? Were you? I can't remember you running so much in the Pro Am class. Of course, my memory is horrible. But were you a part of that Pro Am class last year, or is this something you're stepping up into?
I trained down here all last winter with Kyle Fix and Natalie again, and I got hurt in Georgia, and that pretty much ended my season. I had a shoulder injury. So I raced the last 2 races, and that's about it. So I'm hoping to turn heads this year.
No doubt. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense as to why I was kind of a little bit vague on what took place there last year. Now, how were those final 2 rounds for you, man? How did that all work out for you?
Redbud, I just went out to just have fun. I didn't really ride a bunch before that, so I didn't really do all that great. And then I came to Loretta's and did a little bit better. I got 7th overall in Pro Am production, so it wasn't horrible, but I didn't get to ride at all really, so it was all right.
Yeah, that sounds pretty remarkable, actually, because the talent field in that class is one of those classes that has a very deep talent pool, and to be able to be amongst the top 10 in that class, I think, is pretty impressive. And being 7th, especially after the injury and everything, that's pretty remarkable in itself. Now, Cody, where do you come from exactly?
I'm from Indiana, like 40 miles east of Chicago.
Okay, so you're one of the Indiana boys, and how long have you been racing the ATV Nationals?
Off and on for I'd say a good 8 years.
What class?
I've been like the last four years to racing the whole series, and I won a 2008 championship in 2010.
Wow, that's great, man. That's awesome. So I knew I recognized the name. Now, did you start out in the youth ranks, or were you on one of the big bikes when you got started?
I started out in the youth ranks on a 300EX. Then I worked my way up from there.
So, and like you said, the last 4 years have been pretty much dedicated to racing the ATV Nationals then, huh?
Yeah.
So, other than the injury last year and everything, how's the mindset heading into this year? Because obviously, for me to be off the bike that long and not be able to race like that, I would have to say that I would be chomping at the bit pretty hard right now.
It's going really good. I got back on the bike last year in July, and I rode all the way till November until the weather got pretty bad at home, and then took a couple months off and headed south, and I'm doing pretty good now.
That's great. And I remember talking to John Natali here a few weeks ago, too. He said something about you guys doing a champ program. It was some sort of training program you guys had designed.
That's kind of just a joke we got. I do the TOP program with Chad Weenan and Justin Carter, and he's going to make up his own program since he is the champ, and we just go round and round about that. So it's just kind of like a joke between me and him.
I kind of wondered if that might not be the case, but you never know with John Natali, man. Sometimes he takes a joke and makes it serious on you real quick. But what's it been like hanging with him and Kyle and those guys? Because I know Kyle, what little bit I know of Kyle Fix, he has got to be an interesting character to spend any amount of time with right now.
Oh, he's definitely a character. Sometimes a little bit too much, but just kidding. But no, they've they've been a great help, especially with John and Tally. You know, we all go out and ride together and give each other pointers, and they've been a great help to me, especially John. So I couldn't thank them enough.
So
and Kyle helped me with my bike setup.
That's great. So you're expecting a pretty strong season this year, then, I assume, huh?
Yeah, I'm hoping to do pretty good.
Cody, how old are you, bud?
I'm 23.
23. So you still got a lot of race time left in you. And what's kind of your goals and your plans for this 2012 season?
Top fives.
There you go, man. That is a great goal for sure, man. And if you can achieve those in that class, you're going to be doing well. That's for sure. And I know that Shawn Taylor and Kyle know exactly what I'm talking about, especially from last year's racing the whole series. I know that Shawn, you had some ups and downs there. I mean, it seemed like you started out and then you kind of disappeared and then you were kind of back, if memory serves me correct.
Yeah, I got hurt in Texas in January, and I was out for a little while, but I missed round 1 and came back to rounds 2 and 3, and then ended up getting hurt again at Maryland. That put me out until the end of June, and I got back to riding and did some local races there and made a comeback at Redbud and Loretta's. And, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how my season was last year. It was on and off.
And from what I remember from last year at Loretta's, you had a pretty solid finish. Didn't you get on the podium there?
Yeah, I took a 3rd overall in Unlimited, so, I mean, that was pretty good for, missing half of the season, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And then I know I've been hearing a lot about you this offseason, man. You've been a lot of places, it seems like.
Yeah, I started down in Texas and met up with Joel, and we were doing some riding down there with a couple other kids, and, weather wasn't really good, and Joel had to come over here for some Can-Am testing, and his parents kind of invited me to come with them, so I took the opportunity to, learn from somebody like him, and popped in the Hetrick racing rig, and we came over here to Florida and been riding with these guys for the past couple of weeks. So
I imagine that's been a pretty neat experience in a lot of different levels then, huh?
Yeah. Joel, he's something else, I'll say that. He teaches me stuff on the track, and, I'm a little bit older than he is, so off the track I feel like I babysit him half the time. When he doesn't answer his phone, his mom calls me and wants to know what he's doing, and, so I'm just kind of a babysitter, I think.
So that's why Mom and Dad sent you along then, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, whatever it takes, man, to get there. That's for sure. But that's great, Shawn. Now, tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your history like? Where do you come from? When did you start ATV racing, and how did you get into the ATV Nationals and such?
I'm 23 years old. I'm from Montezuma, Iowa, up in the Midwest. I started riding ATVs when I was 12. I started on a blaster and just kind of did some of the local stuff. And then 2006, I made my first national at Redbud, and I was actually racing with Nick DeNoble in the A class, and I only hit a couple nationals like 06, 07, 08, and then 09. I went to Alabama and took 2 overalls in the A classes and started the season from there. I mean, I've been pretty much doing the rest of them, doing all the nationals the past few years, and at the end of 09, I moved up to Pro Am, and then I ran Pro Am in 2010 and ended up getting hurt in 2011. So I'm going to try Pro Am one more year and see how it comes out.
And I know that with not being able to race all the nationals last year, probably like Cody, you're chomping at the bit yourself. You're ready to get back out there. That 2.5 weeks seems probably like an awful long time to you right now.
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, it seems just like, yesterday it was 8 weeks away, and now we're here. We're just coming up on 2 weeks now. It's getting really close, so, we're really, chopping at the block to get done what we need to get done and get ready for, the upcoming season.
That's great. And what's some of the antics and stuff that you're having to keep an eye on Joel? I mean, I'm sure he's a pretty wiry kid, huh?
Yeah, he does what he wants to do, and he's a little crazy sometimes. I don't know. I make him dinner sometimes, and
that's a lie.
He's bedding and do his laundry and stuff for him.
Not true.
No, it's fun living with them. We keep each other busy, and we get along great. So I mean, having us two together and just keeps each other, going and pushing each other off the track, and on. So, it's a great experience, I think.
Let's take a break right here and call this part 1 and continue in just a moment in part 2 with Shawn Taylor. I'm Rodney Tomlin. This is Quad Radio.